Hey, how's it going? Let's talk about Boruto chapter 80. In my opinion, I thought it was a very good chapter to conclude part 1 of the Boruto manga. It set up a lot of things for part 2 of the series, and there's so much to talk about, so let's get started. We open up the chapter with a shocked and horrified Shikamaru, as he confirms with Eida that Naruto and Hinata are really dead. Eida is physically threatened by Kawaki to go along with his lie and sell the story that Boruto killed Naruto and Hinata. This is the first time I think we've ever seen Eida being shocked in the entire series, and that shock quickly turns into disgust. She is definitely going to see Kawaki in a different light after the events of this chapter. She, also like Boruto and even Naruto, states how far Kawaki is willing to go to achieve his goals. Maybe this is more evidence that Kawaki may be the person who ends up destroying the Leaf Village. I did feel bad for Shikamaru. He's known Naruto and Hinata since they were kids in the Ninja Academy. They went through so much together and they're basically family. So them being gone really hit Shikamaru on a different level. I also feel the anime needs to really expand on this Naruto and Hinata news, and get reactions from characters from the old generation and the new generation. Speaking of Naruto and Hinata, they are briefly shown in this chapter in the Daikoku 10 dimension. A lot of fans were under the assumption that they were both conscious in this dimension and that Naruto was training in order to escape. We clearly see that is not the case, as they are frozen in time and are both unconscious. Now the question is, will they remain unconscious in this dimension forever? Maybe, maybe not. It's only been less than a day from the events of chapter 75 to the events of chapter 80. If you ask me, I have to say I think they'll remain unconscious, because even in the future they are nowhere to be found. I mean, think about it. If Naruto woke up in the Daikoku 10 dimension, he could easily reverse summon himself and Hinata to Mount Miyaboku and then back to the Leaf Village to deal with Kawaki. Everyone is told of Naruto and Hinata's fate by Shikamaru, and that Boruto is the one who killed them. So we do end up seeing some reactions of some of the characters. Like we see the reaction of Mitsuki and Sarada, and we also see the reaction of Sumire. So it's 100% confirmed in this chapter that she is immune from omnipotence. She and Sarada quickly figure out that Eida is behind this, since Sarada and Sumire are also the only ones who seem to be immune from her attract ability. I'm glad Sumire is immune as well, because Sarada doesn't have to deal with knowing the truth on her own. I still see Sarada and Sumire forming a resistance against Kawaki in the future. So we see Sarada and Mitsuki's reaction. Mitsuki's even more enraged and chases off to find Boruto. Sarada, on the other hand, drops to her knees and mourns for her idol Naruto. Although it wasn't shown much in the Boruto manga, Sarada looked up to Naruto and greatly admired him. So to hear that her idol is dead and that one of her best friends is about to be killed is too much for her to bear. Sarada finds Sasuke, and soon after she says to her father that she doesn't ask him for much, but only to fulfill a selfish wish, to save Boruto. Sarada then awakens the Mangekyo Sharingan, much to the shock of Sasuke and the audience. I think her awakening the Mangekyo Sharingan in this way makes perfect sense and is consistent with other Uchihas who have unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan in Naruto Shippuden. I'm glad it's the sun pattern that Kishimoto designed years ago. She definitely needs the Byakugo seal now from Sakura, otherwise overusing the Mangekyo Sharingan will cause her to go blind. So Boruto ends up encountering Ino Shikacho in this chapter. Shikadai goes as far as calling Boruto a monster. And it's really sad because Shikadai, before omnipotence, really did consider Kawaki to be a friend. And what makes it worse is that he doesn't realize he's attacking his real best friend, Boruto. Momoshiki absorbs Shikadai's shadow possession jutsu and offers Boruto to let him take over to kill them, which immediately enrages Boruto. In an unexpected turn of events for Boruto and Ino Shikacho, Sasuke comes to Boruto's rescue. Sasuke takes Boruto to a remote location. Boruto wonders if Sasuke remembers him. Sasuke tells him about the time in the Momoshiki arc, how everything was the same except that he remembers training and fighting alongside Kawaki, not Boruto. Sasuke and Kawaki, pre-omnipotence, never interacted much outside of fighting Momoshiki together, and Sasuke threatening to behead Kawaki in chapter 78. I always felt that this was purposefully designed by the writers, but I never expected the payoff to be like this. Since Kawaki and Sasuke don't have a relationship, Boruto is back to square one with Sasuke. Sasuke tells him he doesn't trust him, but rather he trusts his daughter Sarada. Sarada's love for them both brought them together, so Sarada ended up being the real hero of this chapter. Sasuke questions his own memories. Truth at this point in the Boruto series is a perspective, and that perspective can be very wrong. Sasuke is skeptical, but he remembers the boy he trained and sees some of those qualities in Boruto. The headband he gave to Kawaki is now in Boruto's possession, and the fact that he can sense Momoshiki in Boruto instead of Kawaki also solidified his fate in Sarada. So I found this interaction to be very interesting. Momoshiki is outright shocked at Sasuke being willing to help Boruto despite not knowing Boruto in this new reality Eida created. Momoshiki shows more signs that he can see aspects of the future, and if he's not careful, however, the future can change. His anger and shock towards Boruto for not giving him control solidifies this. He underestimated Boruto's resolve. Despite watching a lot of major events in Boruto's life post-karma and sharing a brain with him, he doesn't understand Boruto at all. Boruto tells Momoshiki that if this is what he considered to be losing everything, then that's not enough to take him down. He's going to keep pushing forward. Eida and Damon leave Kawaki's location, and she tells Kawaki that she'll meet him later in the village. Eida uses her Shinringan to locate Boruto and Sasuke. So Sasuke gets to meet Eida and Damon for the first time in the Boruto series. Eida, for the first time as well, also shows sympathy towards someone other than Kawaki. She even came with the intention of telling Boruto the situation, which he had already figured out on his own. Boruto tells Eida that he is crushed by the situation, but he won't let it bring him down completely. Boruto tells Eida that he finally understands Kawaki's perspective, which shows how much more emotionally mature Boruto is compared to his adoptive brother. Eida even catches on to this and asks Boruto if he's 12. I really did respect Eida for owning up for what she did in this chapter, even though it was only subconsciously that she activated omnipotence. She even told Boruto that she won't use her Shinringan to locate him and Sasuke, no matter how persistent Shikamaru and Kawaki are. She even expresses how cowardly Kawaki is being for taking advantage of omnipotence. We also learned the truth about Eida's power from this conversation as well. So she doesn't actually have an attractability. It's just a consequence of omnipotence. She, in the past, subconsciously desired people to be attracted to her and activated omnipotence in the past, which is why people are naturally attracted to her. I'm going to have to make an Eida video in the future, going into more detail about her character and her powers. Boruto says he's not abandoning the village and that he's going to get stronger before he comes back to settle the score with Kawaki. Damon shows his respect for Boruto and tells him to get a lot stronger. So Damon, for the first time in his life, can go all out at 100% in a fight. Boruto jokes back and says he doesn't know if he has enough lives to handle that, which is a reference to them bonding over their love of video games in the earlier chapters. Damon and Eida are basically the Beerus and Whis of Boruto. They can solve all of the world's problems, but they are just chill and just do their own thing. Even when they were introduced back in 2021, I never saw them as evil. I just saw them as misguided kids who could do a lot of good for the people if guided down the right path. Interestingly enough, we get to see Code briefly near the end of the chapter. And despite being in one of Ishiki's dimensions, he is not immune from Eida's omnipotence Shinjutsu. So now the person he hates most in the world is Boruto, which pretty much kills my Boruto and Code teaming up video, which is fine because I like this series, keeps me guessing. Code looks like he's going to bide his time, which seems out of character for him at first, but he can't really do anything against Eida and Damon right now. He's going to have to get a lot smarter if he wants to destroy the Leaf and coordinate how he's going to use the Ten Tails in order to conduct this operation. I think the reason why he's not immune is because of, ironically, his claw marks being connected to the main dimension. So it's possible that omnipotence seeped through those claw marks into Ishiki's dimension, and that's how Code got affected. Naruto and Hinata, when they return, will likely not be infected because there is no connection from the Daikoku 10 world to the outside world. And shock of all shocks, we don't see Amato post omnipotence. We will have to see if he is immune later on. But if you ask me, I highly doubt he's immune. This chapter ended with me being very proud of Boruto. He came a very long way. From being a kid who had issues with Naruto to him maturing into a true shinobi. Sasuke tells Boruto that he is in the exact same position as Naruto was during the beginning of his story. Naruto formed bonds, and that's what made him strong. Sasuke says, if you are truly Naruto's son, you will do the same. Boruto tells Sasuke that he is the grandson of Minato Namikaze, an heir to the Hyuga clan through his mother Hinata, and finally he is the son of the legend Naruto Uzumaki, and that's why he's not going to fail. This is no longer the tale of the boy who dreamed of being Hokage. That story is complete. This is the beginning of the story of Boruto Uzumaki.